Welcome everyone to today's deep dive. And right off the bat, a quick but really important reminder. Please subscribe to our channel to support the content.
Yes, definitely do that. We've got a really wild one today.
We really do. I mean, it's honestly mind-boggling. So I want you to picture this. Imagine you just bought this highly styled, best-selling compact family SUV. I mean, the automotive journalists have been praising it endlessly for its reliability.
Right. It looks great on paper.
Exactly. You're driving off the dealer lot, you've got that new car smell, a huge smile on your face, everything is perfect. But then you hit your very first heavy rush hour commute.
That's where the illusion shatters.
It really does. You're in stop-and-go traffic, you try to just inch forward a bit, and suddenly the entire front end of the car violently shudders. It shakes, it jerks forward. It feels exactly like an inexperienced teenager desperately trying to learn how to drive a manual stick-shift car for the very first time.
Just aggressively stalling and bucking.
Yes, and that terrifying, physically jarring feeling. It's not in your head. According to the data I have here, our mission today is to dig into this massive stack of owner complaints and technical documents regarding the transmission problems completely plaguing this popular vehicle.
And we really need to emphasize to everyone listening, this isn't just a streak of bad luck.
Because honestly, my heart goes out to anyone dealing with this. The sheer panic of spending all that money on a brand new car and feeling like it's completely broken on day one, that's just a nightmare.
It is a nightmare, but it's not a manufacturing oops, where they just forgot to tighten a bolt. What we are looking at is a fundamental inherent engineering flaw buried deep in the design of this specific drivetrain configuration.
So it's baked right in from the start.
Exactly. Specifically, it's when they pair that 1.6-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine with the highly controversial 7-speed dry dual-clutch automatic transmission, or as the industry calls it, the DCT. It's a mechanical disaster waiting to happen.
Okay, let's unpack this, because I want to really understand why a modern car feels like the front wheels are about to snap off at low speeds. What is the actual root cause of the dry DCT dilemma?
Well, to understand the flaw, we have to look at how a normal, old-school automatic transmission works. Traditionally, they use something called a hydraulic torque converter.
Which is full of transmission fluid, right?
Right. It's a fluid-filled chamber that smoothly and quietly multiplies engine power. That fluid coupling is what allows your car to effortlessly creep forward at a red light while idling, with zero shuddering. There's no direct mechanical friction.
It's just smooth liquid power transfer.
Precisely. But this modern DCT system we're talking about, it completely lives up to the word dry. There is no fluid coupling. Instead, it uses two completely dry friction clutch discs controlled by complex computers and heavy-duty electromechanical actuators.
Wait, so there are actual physical clutches in there, like a manual car, but a computer's working the pedal for you.
You nailed it. One clutch handles the odd gears, so first, third, and fifth, while the other clutch handles the even gears. Now, if you're out on a twisty mountain road or cruising on the highway, it's fantastic. Lightning fast shifts, great fuel economy.
But I'm guessing it's a totally different story in the city?
It's an absolute nightmare for slow stop-and-go city traffic.
Let's talk about that daily commute reality then. Because what happens when you're trying to, I don't know, parallel park on a really steep incline, or you get stuck in one of those massive holiday highway traffic jams?
That's where the system literally starts to melt down. Because there's no fluid to smooth things out, the transmission control module, the TCM, have to make a compromise. To keep the car inching forward at 2 or 3 miles per hour without stalling the engine, the computer physically commands those heavy, dry clutches to partially engage.
Oh, wow. So it's intentionally slipping the clutch.
Exactly. It's letting them scrape and slip against each other.
That's like the ultimate driving school sin, riding the clutch.
Right, but the car is doing it to itself. And this intentional slipping generates massive destructive heat inside the sealed bell housing. There's nowhere for that heat to go.
Oh man, I could just picture the nightmare scenario. You're barely moving, the internal temperature hits that critical threshold, and suddenly, boom, a bright red warning flashes across your dashboard, commanding you to pull over immediately.
And you really don't have a choice at that point.
No. The car basically throws its hands up and acts like it's stuck in neutral. You can't move. You are awkwardly blocking the middle lane of a fast-moving highway, your hazard lights are flashing, and people are aggressively honking at you.
While you sit there helplessly.
Just waiting 10 to 15 agonizing minutes for those internal metal plates to cool down enough so the computer will let you drive again. That is terrifying.
It's completely unacceptable for a daily driver. And before we get into how the manufacturer tried to fix this, or I should say, failed to fix this.
Oh, actually, let me jump in real quick. If you guys are enjoying this deep dive so far, please don't forget to like the video, comment, and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us bring you these detailed breakdowns.
Yes, definitely subscribe. So, regarding the fix.
Right, here's where it gets really interesting. Because the manufacturer couldn't just ignore these red dashboard warnings, right? According to the documents, they tried to fix this hardware issue with over-the-air software updates and mandatory dealership technical service bulletins.
Which is just an outrageous band-aid. You cannot fix a physical heat and friction problem with lines of code.
So what did the software actually do?
It essentially told the computer to slip the clutches less and grab the next gear much sooner. Sure, it technically reduced the frequency of those glowing red dashboard warnings, but it completely ruined the daily driving dynamics.
How so? Like, what does the driver actually feel now?
Extreme hesitation.
Ah, right. I was reading the owner forums, and people describe this terrifying delay. Imagine you press the gas pedal to merge into fast-moving cross traffic. You know, that moment where you really need the car to move and you get a 2 to 3 second delay.
The engine is revving loudly.
Yeah.
But you're going nowhere.
Not moving an inch. And then immediately after that heart-stopping delay, the clutch suddenly dumps and you get this violent surge of turbo power that aggressively snaps your neck back and just spins the front tires.
It makes the car actively dangerous to drive in tight traffic situations. And it gets worse, because if that organic friction material wears out prematurely from all this computer-controlled slipping, replacing that dual clutch is a massive ordeal.
It's not just a quick swap, is it?
Not at all. It's a highly labor-intensive job. The mechanic has to unbolt the heavy steel front subframe, drop the entire transmission from the bottom of the vehicle, and then use very expensive, specialized factory calibration tools just to set it up again.
So if you're out of warranty,
you're paying a small fortune.
Unbelievable.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it reveals a really harsh reality about owning this vehicle. To survive this car, you basically have to entirely relearn how to drive from scratch.
Relearn how to drive? What do you mean? You can't just drive it like a normal automatic?
Absolutely not. You cannot treat it lazily. For example, when you pull up to a red light, you must press the brake pedal down hard.
Hard? Like you can't just rest your foot on it?
Right. If you lazily rest your foot and let the car slowly inch forward, the computer doesn't fully disengage the clutches. You are actively destroying those friction plates by the second. You have to firmly tell the computer, I am stopped.
So what do you do in that stop-and-go highway traffic we talked about?
You have to change your entire driving style. You have to leave a massive, awkward gap in front of you. You wait for the car ahead to move a significant distance, and only then do you step firmly on the gas to ensure the clutch fully engages in first gear.
Oh my gosh, the social cost of that. You're going to get aggressively tailgated constantly.
Oh, people will hate you.
I can hear the angry honks from here. You've got extremely impatient drivers behind you, completely losing their minds because you're leaving a 3-car gap in rush hour, all because of a highly unnatural driving style required by your transmission.
Exactly. It's absurd.
So what does this all mean? I mean, say you're a smart buyer. You do your research, you avoid the DCT entirely, and you buy the naturally aspirated engine paired with the traditional hydraulic automatic transmission. You're safe then, right?
You would think so, but no. You are absolutely not safe.
Wait, really? Even the standard automatic has problems?
Yes, because of the electronic shift-by-wire flaws.
Okay, break that down for me.
So instead of a traditional mechanical gear shifter with a physical cable, the manufacturer installed these futuristic flat electronic push buttons on the center console. Park, drive, reverse.
Right, they look very sleek and modern.
They look great. But the actual exterior servo actuators that physically change the gears underneath the car are highly susceptible to road moisture and severe electrical pin corrosion.
Oh, so the electronics get exposed to the elements.
Exactly. So you get in, you push the drive button, the little blue indicator light comes on.
But the car doesn't move.
Nope. The heavy transmission physically stays permanently stuck in park or neutral.
That is wild.
You're sitting there frantically mashing the buttons or restarting the engine, just hoping it decides to work.
And it's not just the buttons either, right? I saw notes about sensor nightmares too.
Yes, the internal fluid temperature sensors. They fail prematurely and start sending erratic voltage signals to the main computer.
And what happens when a car computer gets erratic voltages?
It panics. The computer immediately defaults to maximum internal fluid line pressure to protect itself.
Which leads to that violent shifting people complain about. I've read descriptions where drivers say that every single time the car shifts from first to second gear, there's a violent, bone-jarring mechanical clump.
It's incredibly harsh.
They say it feels exactly like being severely rear-ended by a heavy truck. Just a massive slam.
And here is the ultimate insult for the owner. Because the sensor failure is intermittent, you take it to the dealership. The mechanic drives it around the block for 5 minutes, and of course, everything is magically fine.
Oh, I know exactly what's coming.
Yeah. They hand you back an invoice permanently stamped with that maddening phrase, "cannot replicate customer concern."
That would make my blood boil. It really would. So, summarizing all of this, whether you are desperately trying to keep dry dual clutch from melting while you're sitting in a fast food drive-through line, or you're fighting these futuristic push buttons that completely refuse to acknowledge your existence.
Or getting whiplash from failing sensors.
Exactly. The takeaway here is that this wildly popular crossover absolutely demands intense daily vigilance. You need strict driving habits, and you have to have unwavering preventative maintenance just to keep it on the road.
It really leaves you with a profound question, though, something for everyone listening to really mull over. Think about it. If modern automotive engineering has reached a point where we, as drivers, must radically alter our natural human instincts just to prevent the vehicle's computers from actively destroying its own hardware, are we actually driving the machines anymore, or are the machines conditioning us?
Wow. That's a brilliant way to put it. We're basically being trained to buy our own cars. That is definitely something to think about next time you're stuck in traffic. Well, that wraps up our deep dive for today. Thank you so much for joining us and listening in.
Thanks for having me.
And please, one last time, do not forget to subscribe, like, and comment on the channel. We really appreciate your support. Drive safe out there, and we'll see you in the next deep dive.